everyone. Good morning to all. Auspicious greeting to all friends in the Dharma. I wish you all have a good week. So my name is Joyce. Let us start with a warm welcome to you to our weekly communities of practice and the check-in section for an half an hour Dharma reflection and community connections. So if you're a new member of our community, please accept our wholehearted warm welcome to you. We also welcome any questions if you have any regarding to the practices and topics, and we love to help. So this is customary for people in Australia to begin any meeting by acknowledging the traditional owners of our land. I would like to start today by acknowledging the Tarawa people as the traditional owners of the land on which Nantian Institute resides. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all are. And I pay my respects to the elders in the past, present, and emerging. So the check-in sections have been developed by our communities of practice team and the entire community. The purpose of these sections is to develop a reflective practice in response to changes. So guided by humanistic Buddhism, we would like to cultivate our practices and to build memorable friendships. So our facilitator today is Dr. Priscilla Wong, and she's inviting us to reflect on the theme of altruism. So let's welcome Dr. Priscilla Wong to guide us through the section. Yeah, Chris, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Joyce. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. This is the third week in our series of Giving Diamonds. This week, we will be exploring altruism and the remarkable practice of giving. Let's start with our usual mindful check-in and some breathing meditation. With our first two breaths in and out, we relax every part of our body from head to toe. Checking our posture, keeping still and steady, and gently so. With the next two breaths in and out, we relax our mind and return to the present moment. With the final two deep breaths in and out, we return our focus to our breathing. Every breath in is a reminder of the gifts we are constantly receiving from the world. Every breath out is a reminder of the gifts that we are constantly sharing with the world. Let's remain aware of this for a minute or so. Each breath in and out, continuing and flowing. Whenever you're ready, please open your eyes. And I welcome you to chapter 4 of the foundational text, the Diamond Sutra. Let's read together. Chapter 4. The Buddha said, "Moreover, Subhuti, within this phenomenal world, a bodhisattva should practice giving without abiding in anything. This means that he should not give while abiding in form, nor should he give while abiding in sound, smell, taste, touch, or dharmas. Subhuti, a bodhisattva should not give while abiding in any notion whatsoever. And why is this? If a bodhisattva gives without abiding in any notion whatsoever, then his merit will be immeasurable. When we think about giving, how could it possibly be anything but good? How could it cause suffering? And yet there are many instances which come to mind where suffering is experienced by both giver and receiver. As individuals, communities, or even countries, wise giving isn't so easy. The passages in the Diamond Sutra advise us to give without abiding in anything. Very often we think we are giving unconditionally. We usually aren't seeking accolades or return favors. We genuinely have someone else's well-being at heart. So I was really interested to explore what the Buddha was asking us to look at. First, maybe we abide in the self and the identity we have created. Do we give at times purely because we see it as the right thing to do? Because it means I'm a good Buddhist, a good woman, a good citizen, a good doctor? It's something I should do, and this is the way I should do it, to be accepted by everyone, including myself. Do we abide in the other? Do we give only because the person in front of us is our parent, child, friend, colleague, or because we know better? We have more resources, more power, more experience than this person. And in both cases, how does this particular abiding impact how we give? Dr. Rachel Remond gave this quote for us to contemplate. When you help, you see life as weak. When you fix, you see life as broken. When you serve, you see life as whole. And finally, do we abide in the gift itself? Not that we want to keep the gift, but that we expect a certain value to be placed on our gift and certain results. Even if it's not accolades or gratitude, we've all been disappointed when we've given our all, only for the result not to be what we've expected. At times, even for our gift to be rejected or even not acknowledged. For me, the diamonds I received from this passage were best summed up in the chapter by Roshi Joan Halifax in her book, Standing at the Edge. Altruism, she says, is an edge state, and it is so easy to fall off that edge into fatigue, resentment, and even cause harm. But that shouldn't stop us from giving, from trying, from practicing and climbing back up. And to guide us, she recommends 3 steps. The first is practicing not knowing. When we want to give, first see our fixed ideas of self, the other, the relationship, and our expectations. The second is bearing witness. We talk a lot about curiosity and listening in these sessions, and once we have stopped abiding, we have made room to stop fixing and helping, and instead to curiously see a bigger picture, to see life with all its complexities as a whole. And only then can we practice compassionate action. Like Joey's passage last week on infinity, the sutra is teaching us that everything we abide in has limits. At some point, giving because of obligation, duty, or fear catches up to us. Giving only because we feel we can fix and help will tire us out. Giving because we desire a certain result will definitely prove us wrong at some point. But compassion for all living beings has no limits, no expectations, no rigidity, no time frame. And if we can make giving without abiding a part of our lives, we too are practicing the sutra's limitlessness. So let's consider some questions together on giving without abiding in our breakout rooms to follow. I'll hand back to Joyce.
Thank you, Priscilla, for the beautiful paragraph and topics. So today, Dr. Priscilla is inviting us to share our insight with each other for these questions as shown here. So the first one, when giving, what are some factors that we unconsciously abide in? The second one, so give an example, big or small, where you have been the giver, receiver, or witness through altruism. And the last one, how can we practice giving without abiding in our daily lives? So for the next 15 minutes, we will be grouped into 3 to 4 members for sharing and discuss the questions today. So in the discussion, we do recommend you spending a very little bit of time to get to know each other and then discuss the questions. So, and there will be a Zoom notifications to guide you through, and feel free to let the flow of your discussions lead you through.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you all had some good discussions on giving and giving without abiding. If you'd like to type some comments in the chat box, we'll just read them out to the community and share them. And then our lovely poster team will allow us to share your wisdom with the wider community. So, Lai Chin, caring and joyful, sincerity with empathy without expectations and conditions is a practice of giving without abiding in our daily lives. So it's just hard to do, isn't it? Not have expectations, but it's part of our practice. Bruce talks about the marketing at Christmas, which I think everyone's getting bombarded with. So it's always encouraging us to abide. So yeah, important to be aware of what's going on around us and the practice of how not to abide. Stacey says, I think people are altruistic by nature, but we may not have the best tool or skillful means to help in the best way. And this is where teamwork comes in, or the community comes in. Thanks, Stacey. Phyllis says, unconditional giving takes great effort in the mundane world that we live in at present, because we're bombarded with many conflicting messages from many platforms. Similar to what Bruce was saying. Thanks, Phyllis. And Li Ping, I think from our group, we were really discussing this about understanding what other people really need or want and taking that pause before giving. Magali talks about being on the receiving end and being able to receive without feeling guilty, because actually receiving is a gift as well. And we talk a lot about the giver and the receiver being equal. So we're coming up to 11:30, so keep writing your comments in the chat. I'll just ask Joyce to share screen now, and I'll hand back over to her to close the session. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, Priscilla. So for our next section, we will have this, we will be receiving another diamond. Our facilitator will be Joey Yo. So this is the title to discuss, to contemplate in. This is about the Buddha say to Sahuti, all forms are illusory. So if you see that all forms are not forms, then you see the Tathagata. So hope to see you next section for this. Okay, so now we really hope that the check-in section was helpful to you. And we hope you experience the unconditional love and compassion from this community. But for anyone who might be experiencing a greater need than what today could meet, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. And there's an email there shown here. And you can also reach out to the professional organizations on the screen. So as we check out today, let's recite the dedication of merits together to send love and compassion to whoever in need.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
Thank you everyone for joining us. So once again, thank you Dr. Priscilla for bringing up such a wonderful topic today for all of us. So reminding us to practice giving without abiding in anything. So now we will have our usual post-check-in discussions. So please stay around if you have time. So otherwise, see you all again next week at 11 on Sunday. So have a wonderful week ahead. See you. Bye.